Bullying of any form has just always been terrible. I myself personally have never one on one encountered a person that I felt I gave the power to bully me, or I felt personally attacked or victimized by another person or a group of people. I've always been strong in myself, knowing that, the person that makes me happy at the end of the day is always going to be me. So I just have to be happy. And I think that's what's behind the saying it gets better, you know? Because at one moment in your life you might feel like the whole world is caving in, grades, family situation. It gets all hectic and jumbled up in your head and it makes you feel just terrible. But if you know that through time things get better, or over time you learn how to handle things better, then life gets easier. You get happier. That's what I've noticed around my friends that might have felt like they were being bullied when they've come and they've talked to me. I've always I've always echoed the saying it gets better because through time, through patience, life can always life can always get better and you will be happy.
My name's Aiden McBreen, and I'm gay. All throughout elementary school and through most of middle school, I had a higher pitched voice than most kids. I hung out with a lot of girls, and because of that, I had very effeminate qualities, and so I was called every name in the book that people call gay men. And so I kind of adopted this policy, this agency to say, no, I'm not gay, and just kind of let it roll off my back and not really affect me. And I think that ideology really rooted itself in my brain to almost immediately deny it whenever someone came in conflict with it and said, oh, you're gay? And then be like, no, 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 no. And I think that became a really big problem for me when I had to accept the fact that I was gay. I've always been an open person, and so I had an experience with another kid, sophomore year of high school, sort of an experimentation, I guess, and it ended poorly, where he ended up calling me a faggot and telling me that I shouldn't exist anymore. And so I was pushed farther into the closet than I had ever been in my life because I thought, holy crap, I did this and I liked it, but he didn't, so that means it's wrong. And so I was really at conflict with myself. And I'd always seen the coming out stories of it's okay to be gay, it gets better, but those never really spoke to me because I still thought in the forefront of my mind, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. And it didn't really get better for me until the end of my junior year, where I basically just said, you know what? I like guys. And once I took that step and admitted it to myself, I started making some comments about some attractive men that I saw either on television or just walking around campus. To my friends, they would look at me a little bit and then be like, okay. And we just kind of move along. It was never really a big deal. I never really had to sit down and tell someone, by the way, I'm gay. That never really came out. And even telling my parents was kind of avoided because my mom ended up going through my phone and saw some text messages to some friends and stuff. And so we had to talk a little bit more about it, which upset me. But my mom was okay with it. My dad's okay with it. My family member is okay with it. All my friends, that I had then and all the friends that I've made now are okay with it. And so it really does get better. The only thing that I have to say about bullying at this point is that it really hindered me and brought me a lot of pain and a lot of agony in coming to terms with myself. But it will get better. People will accept you no matter who you are, what you are, or who you like. So just be yourself.
I'm Dylan McBreen, and I'm not gay. But I have been bullied, kind of a lot. When I first moved here, because I guess people thought I was different, or I didn't have many friends, or just because everybody already had their own friend group. I was bullied. Nobody liked me, and everybody thought I was different. But the thing is, nobody should be bullied for being different. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't deserve to be bullied. But the people who bully you, they just want to feel powerful. But as soon as you overcome what they say and don't let it hurt you anymore, you are more powerful than they are. And, elementary school sucks, middle school sucks, high school sucks, but as soon as you accept who you are, find out what you like, what you want to do, and find a good group of friends, it really gets better. The bullying no longer phases you, and you can become, in your own eyes, the most powerful person that there is. Nobody can change you. Nobody can tell you what to do. And if you don't care what people think about you, what people say about you, you are more powerful than they are, and they can do nothing to hurt you, to phase you, to do anything to you. And like I said, once you find out who you are, once you accept yourself, and once you find a good group of friends that will accept you for who you are, it really does get better. It gets so much better.